rich versus poor belief. That, I talked to you about my story. Well, I had a poor belief system. My system of belief was the poor because that's what I learned. But I had to go to my heroes to have that rich belief system and learn, okay, this is not what I'm supposed to think. I'm supposed to think differently. So the 80% is my identity started to change when I started to look at successful people and imitate, hack what they're doing. Try to find out how come their attitude, all these details. But where I found it is in the heroes in the Bible. That was my best mentorship ever. I started to change my identity. That's what I did for 16 years in the office. I did it before that because I was on tour in all my 20s, and I was working on the mindset of these people these musicians I would bring in with me, because their belief system was very, very, very low average. And as soon as challenges would come, you see, they would break down. I would have to send them back home, get more musicians back on that tour. I had to deal with all the business sides and the agencies and the money side and the rentals and the tours and the organizing, the hotels, everything. I'm in my 20s. I'm learning the hard way. I'm burning myself out. That's why by the end of my 20s, I had learned big keys, and I had to change my belief system to rich belief system, wealth system. I had to expand my 80% because it's like the heaven on earth. Let's look at it this way, the heaven on earth, right? With God on earth as it is in heaven. So what does that mean without being religious today? Let's put it very practical. Heaven on earth for me is whatever is in heaven. God said I can create it down here, and He's going to be with me, and that whatever my 80% brings it down, right? Brings it down on earth, I can create. I am spiritual. I'm a creator like God. I'm God's image. That's Genesis chapter 1, right at the start. God says, I created you as my image, man and woman, both of them. God blessed the man, God blessed the woman. He said, now go, multiply, dominate, and replenish this earth with my blessing. So once you understood that, you say, okay, I got a rich belief system, or I got a poor belief system, and whatever, I have to change. The 80% is the heaven on earth, is who God created me from the very beginning. He created entrepreneurs. He created leaders. Not everybody has that DNA. So you today, if you have that DNA to succeed, you're in this challenge. I'm challenging you as a leader, as an entrepreneur, to change that 80%, to become like that flow from heaven on earth to you as an entrepreneur. And then you start seeing stuff you never saw before. Then you start doing actions you never did before, because now your identity, the 80%, is on the move, is being shaken up. It's being, you're transforming to that butterfly. Now the 20%, I understood very quickly. We go back on tour, and in the hospitality, I had bars, restaurants, taken managers as musicians. I send musicians back because their mentality, their identity, everything. When it would be challenged, they just couldn't do it. They had to back off. But the 20%, they were extremely good. I mean, managers that put in there, awesome cooks, musicians, business people that I was dealing with, very good at the 20%, but the 80%, their identity was messed up, and that's why they were flopping. They were miserable. Their life. If you're miserable, you've been failing miserably. This is why it's happening. It's not the 20%. It's probably you're very good at what you do. And it's always good, to get this course, do that, get, more knowledge, more this, more that. In your 20%, you're better in social media. You're always doing this. But if your 80% is messed up, how can you succeed to another level? You can go up that step because it's the 80%. It's the heaven on earth. It's who you are. The download of your identity that God created you initially that was contaminated with all kinds of events across your life. That is the problem. So you got to be there before you get there.